Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and bizarre TikToks that will make you question reality.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
This industry is not what it seems to be. I bet you there's rappers in here right now that can rap way better than me. You can rap way better than me. You will never be where I'm at because this industry is rigged. You have to go see this person and sit down and talk to them. You have to go and do this. You're a puppet.
Hollywood Records contract, and I'm signing it to have my first record ever and selling my soul to Hollywood Records. That's what I'm doing. I signed my deal up in blood letters.
Something happened to me. I haven't been the same since. I've realized something about myself that it's dangerous.
So they practice witchcraft.
What does it mean though?
What it means.
What does the checkerboard mean?
It means mind control. So you got classical conditioning, you got operational conditioning. So what they do is they use programming. So
MK Ultra?
Yeah, but it's to push an agenda. So
you heard of this shit before, right?
I heard of MK Ultra, but I don't pay that shit too much mind.
So the checker. So what I'm saying is,
Y'all, the checkerboard. You gotta watch out for the checkerboard floors. But we all know how Hollyweird acts, you know.
What are you talking about?
Well, when was the last time you people took a trip?
Well, we take trips. We go up to Raleigh every now and then. And we drove up to Asheville that time, remember?
When your cousin became a Mason.
Trip, Paul, can we? Can we be?
Well, it's entirely up to your father, dear.
Well, I suppose we could take a little of the money and take a little trip. Want to go over to Parkinson's Falls? It's nice this time of year, and Opie hadn't been there since he was a baby. Well, you want to drive up to Asheville again? See Cousin Evan Moore? He's a Grand Master now. Well, do you have any ideas?
I promise I will never reveal any of the secrets of the Wildcats. I promise I will never reveal any of the secrets of the Wildcats. I will not even tell anyone there is such a club as the Wildcats. I will not even tell anyone there is such a club as the Wildcats. Not even my pa? Not anybody. And if I ever do, I will be struck down by the curse of the claw. Come on, you've got to say it. And if I ever do, I will be struck down by the curse of the claw. You are now an official member of the Wildcats forever and ever. Okay, the ceremony is over. Open the door. Now that he's a Wildcat, we've got to give him a job. I know, I got one for him. Opie, everybody in the Wildcats has got to have an important office. Know what you're going to be? Keeper of the Flame.
oh boy, what's Keeper of the Flame?
You're in charge of the sacred candle. It's your job to bring it to every meeting. And you must never lose it, because it's a sacred candle.
So check it out, y'all. With him saying that right now, it makes me think that the Olympics are part of this ritual, you know? It's part of this sacred meeting that they have. They have all of these people from all across the world, and it's like one of the biggest meetings probably. And you got to carry that sacred torch. Yo, y'all think I'm reaching or not? Let me know in the comments.
But what happens when the sacred candle gets all used up?
We go down to the dime store and buy another sacred candle.
They put it right in our faces all the time, y'all.
You know all those aircraft carriers that are going into the Middle East right now? Well, yeah, they run on kerosene. And you know what kerosene is? It's petroleum based. They have 17% left in the United States. So how far do you think they're going to fly?
My, but that is interesting. I had no idea we had pulled World War II era aircraft carriers out of dry dock and then retrofitted their engines to use kerosene instead of gasoline. Which, according to you, we only have 17% left in our reserves. Our precious U.S. Naval kerosene reserves. So, two things. The first is that most aircraft carriers are nuclear powered, just like our subs. And second, aircraft carriers don't fly. Well, anyway, this has been Doc for Diesel Punk Industry saying conspiracy theories are just fan fiction for people who need to feel important. Thanks for watching, and as always, Crunchy White Pimp forever.
What was his name? Crunchy White Pimp?
They did a lot of predictive programming of what was to come in the future. So right here we see that Madonna kills this person that is wearing a mask, and this was back in 2019. So this was predictive programming of what was to come in 2020, where people started wearing a mask. And in the song she says, not everyone can come into the future. Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone that's here is going to last. Not everyone that's here is going to last. So that was really creepy. So moving along, they did more predictive programming in this performance. So take a look at this picture. If you pay close attention to the people at the bottom, they're wearing two certain flags. And these two flags should stand out to you because of what they're doing in these countries on the world stage. And on top of that, notice how she's repeating not everyone that's here is gonna last while they're showing these two flags. So if you still don't know what these two flags are, here's a closer look. So I'm sure you guys can see where I'm getting with this, because right now these two countries that these two flags are from are in conflict. Here's the two flags from the video, and ironically both of these countries are in conflict right now. You know, I can't go too deep into that on here, but just know that all of this was staged and scripted. I'll do a video exposing this more on my Patreon, so make sure you subscribe over there. The link is in the description. But yeah, man, I just find it crazy that in this performance, they're showing predictive programming for 2020 and 2023. And it's not a coincidence, because of all the flags to put on someone's back, they specifically put these two flags. And notice in the song, they're saying, it's the future where you come from. And ironically, right now, I'm in the future watching this video of something they did in the past that was predictive programming for what was in the future, which is right now.
Hey. Man, look, it's all scripted. It's all a big stage, and our phones, our TVs are the screen for the movie, y'all. It's all propaganda, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more going on here. Clearly, they knew that this was going to happen. What was that, 4 years ago?
Stop scrolling. I got some more sauce for y'all. And this might go over a lot of y'all's heads, because y'all just can't quite get it. But for those of you that are awoke and not The Walking Dead, this is for you. Pay close attention.
This will be one of the wildest things you've ever heard in your life. This video is for entertainment purposes only. If you've never heard of The Secret, it's said to have been written by the Rockefellers. But look, I thought this was crazy. This is what the ChatGPT AI responded when I asked it to type out The Secret for me. I ended up finding a video of this woman right here reading it.
The Secret was created by none other than the Rockefellers, and maybe even someone even higher than them, let's be honest. But this is their secret in their closets, things that they want to follow. And if you're a conspiracy theorist or a critical thinker and you're aware of what's been going on in the world, you're going to know exactly how suitable this is. This is written word for word, and I want to read it to you. Okay, so bear with me. The secret, an illusion that will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We'll create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always, and we will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what's happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their mind. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths, and they will destroy their minds and reproductive system. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them and what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in the film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them that it's for their help. We will start early on when their minds are young. We will target their children with what the children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will go depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods, so many never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so that they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish the governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be always pure, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will grow them kindly and gently, letting them think that they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits it best. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. They shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that they were all one. This they must never know. They must never know that a man's color is an illusion. They must always think that they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we will accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all the media.
Y'all, this is crazy because, like, this is spot on. You know, anybody in this community, if you're watching this video, you know that everything she's saying is spot on. It's just crazy that, you know, the Rockefellers, they're able to do that. They literally have put a system in play to control the minds of an entire world. Crazy, right? Like, even the whole public school system, the secret C that she's talking about, and there's probably many more secrets out there as well that we don't even know yet.
We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of the passage to their higher realms. Members of these groups will think that they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach their higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know that they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives, for this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans.
Listen, I feel like they play worked, right? She said that in there it said that if the people ever found out that we're equal, that we would rise together and they will perish. That is false. I feel like they've already got us, y'all. They've got us so comfortable, so fat, so lazy, so caught up in our own little world that they can go on TV and say everything that she just said, right, on the news, and there might be a few things on Twitter or X or whatever, you know, some tweets out there, and it might, you know, last a day and be right back to normal. Everybody be right back to entertainment, man. So it's crazy where we're at right now in this world.
Listen quietly.
So yesterday was a historic day as the very first detoxification protocol was published in the U.S. medical literature that gives people a chance to take this whole issue into their own hands and use natural substances to begin to help the body clear this very dangerous protein from its cells and tissues. And it involves 3 natural substances that are available over the counter at any type of online retailer or at a natural food store or pharmacy. And they are nattokinase, which is an enzyme that's derived from the fermentation of soy, bromelain, which is a set of enzymes derived from the stems of pineapple. By the way, bromelain is a U.S. FDA-approved drug as a topical treatment for wounds. And then the third is curcumin, derived from turmeric. The doses of nattokinase are 2,000 units twice a day, bromelain 500 milligrams a day, and curcumin 500 milligrams 3 times a day. The duration in this publication, and I'm the first author, so I'm the one to bring this forward, is at least 3 months. I think for people who have taken multiple shots, 12 months or more.
Hope y'all had your notepads down because he just gave us the secret sauce.
The Dark Matter Tour, because this time in history we know more about the universe and space than we have ever known in the history of mankind right fucking now. And some of the shit they done found out, they don't know how to fucking tell you, because they don't know how the fuck you might react to some of the shit that they done found out. So they found out that in the universe, all of the galaxies, all of the moons, all of the suns, all the stars, everything we can see with our eyes, they found out that that is 5% of the universe. The fuck? That means we know 5% of what the fuck is out there. They don't want to say what the other 95% is. They don't want to say it's God. They don't want to say it's a nigga God. So they called it dark matter. That's what it is. 95% dark matter. They done found out some shit they don't want to tell you. Thanks to James Webb Telescope, we can see all the way back to where the Big Bang was supposed to be. And guess what? I don't want to be the spoiler alert, but it wasn't no bang, bitch. And it wasn't motherfucking big. So, back to the old drawing board. And they found out there's no dead particles nowhere in the universe. None. No dead particles. So that means when your ass leave here, bitch, you go somewhere else. We don't know where the fuck it is. I'm just here to let you know that no matter how your life is going right now, please understand that this is the greatest time to be alive for any human beings that have ever been on this planet right now, and you're involved. The greatest time to be alive. You're the first people that don't have to take no shit. If you don't like something, you can motherfucking fix it. You ain't got to take nobody's shit. Even if you don't like the way God made you, you can switch it up.
He ain't capping, man. I like Cat Williams, you know. He had me out here looking for that cryptocrocodile like a long time ago.
You know what our biggest enemy is in America? Our fellow Americans.
You can't trust the unvaccinated. Now is the time to do what you're told.
It's not about freedom or personal choice. Screw your freedom.
Walking around lawfully unvaccinated? That's psychotic.
Your biggest enemy is your fellow American. We can't trust the unjabbed. Now it's time to do what you're told. It's not about personal choice. Screw your freedoms. Walking around lawfully unjabbed? That's psychotic. These were all the things that the media, politicians, and Hollywood kept repeating over and over and over again to get you to think how they want you to think, to get you to feel how they want you to feel, to get you to take what they want you to take. It was all about safety, safety, don't go outside. That is until George Floyd happened. And then what happens? Thousands and thousands of people flood the streets, and all the experts who told you not to go outside all of a sudden told us that marching for social justice was more important than fearing what they had been telling us to fear. It was almost as if the bug just could tell the difference between someone who's marching for social justice and someone who's marching against lockdowns and mandates. Many of you guys should look into Operation Mockingbird, in which the CIA used mainstream media during the Cold War. The recruitment of reporters was handled at high levels after the journalists had undergone a thorough background check. The actual approach might even be handled by a deputy director or division chief. On some occasions, no discussion would be entered into until the journalists had signed a pledge of secrecy. A former assistant to the director of Central Intelligence said the secret agreement was a sort of ritual. What are some of the organizations that the CIA used? ABC, the Associated Press, Reuters, Newsweek magazine, New York Times, CBS, etc., etc. When they want to push an agenda that they want you to go along with, they use your fear, they use your emotions, and they get everybody all riled up and turned against each other. If you pay attention and look closely, you can see it coming from a mile away.
Man, he ain't lying with that one, y'all. Don't trust the news.
They're making an X? What? No, he didn't. He did not just say that. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, religious documents, pretty hard to swallow. It's very hard to swallow. Saying basically that.
Do y'all remember Bob Lazar?
Yeah, that's Bob.
It turned out that he wasn't lying after all. And his stories that he told back in the late 80s and early 90s ended up being true. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Do y'all know who Bob Lazar is? Bob Lazar, I think the first time I heard about Bob Lazar was on Joe Rogan, right? And he was talking about all this UFO stuff, and opened my mind up to a lot of stuff, right? Made me start thinking about a lot of things differently. So I'm curious what he's going to say right here, though.
Lazar talks about religion and the documents he read about humans being created by aliens. Religion is a very touchy topic, and this will upset a lot of people. But that's not the most interesting part. The most interesting part is when he talked about the human species being grown in a lab or genetically engineered.
Yo, Cabbage Patch babies, like, we see these pictures all the time, like a baby flew in on a stork, or you have, like I said, the Cabbage Patch stories. Y'all think we was created by these people? In the Bible, what's it say? That man was made in God's image, right? You know what I'm saying? God made man in his image. That's what it was. And you got to think about it. It's not just God. It was God's, plural. So God's made man in their image and likeness. Take it how you want to.
But you, be the judge.
Religion. You saw some other reports that you...
Yeah, religious documents. Yeah.
Pretty hard to swallow.
It's very hard to swallow.
Saying basically that... basically that we're a product of genetic engineering from someone.
Yeah. Yeah, how can you just swallow that whole?
Well, how can you swallow any of that stuff?
Well, it's easy to swallow things you can put your hands on and touch and then work with. But you get into a lot of spiritual stuff and religion, and you were brought here, and we were made by progressive corrections and evolution and that sort of thing, and where it shoots down a lot of the established religions, Catholicism, and everything that are essentially it's a tough thing to accept, and why, without hardcore proof, why even bring it up?
I guess the question more should deal with that you actually read a report that said this stuff.
Well, yeah, the only hardcore thing is that there's extremely classified document dealing with religion about that period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
What other kind of classified?
No, that wasn't the last thing.
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
Oh, come on, that's so weird. That's a lot.
I'm not asking you to say what you believe to be a fact. I'm asking you to say what you read in a report that is distributed at what may be the most top secret facility in the world. Okay.
All right, I'll say it. It's so far out.
All right, your objection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers. And that's how we're mentioned in the doctrine.
Avatar.
That religion was specifically created. So we have some rules and regulations. So the sole purpose is not damaging the containers. The souls.
Meaning,
well, the souls or the bodies or whatever, right?
Meaning like we're containers for souls that they're going to use at some point.
Right.
And that they had something to do with different prophets and biblical figures.
Yeah. That supposedly Jesus and two other beings were genetically engineered. They were implanted in people on Earth in biblical times, and their births were closely monitored. Now, just some little connections to that my wife had brought up were in the Bible. They said that the star had followed Mary wherever she went, and that all UFO sightings always start out as people, well, gee, that looks like a bright star, and well, in fact, they said in the Bible, the brightest star in the sky followed her where she went, and just make little connections like that.
Oh man, why they cut the audio out? But that is crazy though, y'all. What y'all think of that?
Zodiac is inside of you. That's 12 particular parts of consciousness that's inside of you. The 13th part of the consciousness is the dot inside of the circle. So if you take the circle, the ring of Solomon, and you see the spirit, you'll see the spirit and you'll see the dot. And if you take it and then do it 12 times, you get the zodiac. You see what I'm saying? The dot in the circle is the centerpiece, which is the 13, which is Christ in the 12 disciples. You see, 12 seasons of the year, but those particular cycles are different archetypes of consciousness, archetypes of the collective unconsciousness. So you all the signs. Someone say, what sign are you? I said, well, I mastered that shit. I'm Gemini and all that shit. Because I'm above the damn sign. I'm right here in the motherfucking circle. And how do you get in this circle? Just realize there is a damn circle and you bypass the shit. It's all based on thought. You see what I'm saying? So they say, you're Sagittarius. No, I say, I transcended that shit. I'm all that shit. I might be on any of these bastards in any given hour. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not schizophrenic no more. I'm right here in the circle. And that's the Christ.
It's all about thought and mindset, y'all. What? That's crazy.
This out. I be trying to tell y'all. Look,
So let's get it over. Okay.
Check it out.
It's the Earth right here, right? Yeah.
Alright.
It's us, right?
Hey,
make it
listen
smaller.
to him though. Go ahead, cuz.
Make it smaller. Why is Antarctica that big, cuz? Look, the whole fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
What's down here? Antarctica.
Right.
Why is Antarctica that big, cuz? Tell me that.
Why can't you even
Matter
go
of fact,
past
let's go back. This is where we stay at. We stay in Florida, right here. Let's zoom out. Okay. Why is that much smoke? Why is that much snow down here, cuz?
That's crazy. And that's being a world map. It should show
The world
past
map.
that.
And that's live.
Why can't you even go past
And that's
that?
live, cuz.
You can't even go past Antarctica, can you?
And that's live. Look, you can see the tides and current and shit. What the fuck?
Man,
Nah.
that's crazy. Trying to tell y'all.
It's an ice wall down there.
Did you know The Simpsons predicted a dark winter of 2023? An episode from season 33 that aired in January 2023, apparently foreshadowing something called a dark winter coming to America. In the episode plot, the Simpson family finds themselves snowed in at home as a massive winter storm blankets Springfield. However, news reports indicate the freezing weather is not limited to just their town, but much of the United States is experiencing record cold temperatures, snowfalls, and dangerous ice storms. Grocery stores' shelves are empty as people are ordered to shelter at home. More intriguing is that the episode aired only a few months before winter 2023-2024. Could it be predictive? Even more unsettling is that dark winter is a term previously used by government officials and pandemic experts to describe a hypothetical crisis scenario involving a combination disaster. Dark winter was a term from after 9/11, picturing a U.S. smallpox attack. Now, with COVID, high costs, food and energy shortages, social fights, and worse weather from climate change, some fear a crisis like the one shown in a Simpsons episode hitting America. Only time will tell if the theories about a truly dark winter in 2023-2024 bear any credence. Let's wait and see.
Just when you thought you've seen it all, you come across another fruit or vegetable that's been made. These have been made. What are these? Lemonade apples? Meet your new favorite apple. It's telling you right here. Go to lemonadeapple.com, man. In case you didn't know, Granny Smiths are made. Also highly bred up for their size and sugar content. Organic or not, these things have been created, just like your lemonade apples. Grapefruits have been made.
Sheesh.
Lemons have been made.
That lac resin, y'all. Yo, I don't know if it was like 1 or 2 videos ago. Dude was explaining the lac resin, and I'm gonna just tell you, search it up. You're going to be pretty grossed out, and you might not want to buy any produce anymore after that. You know, I'm pretty sure there's ways to get rid of this lac resin, but man, look, I don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
were made. They were made with a chemical called starch.
Dang.
You ever heard of it? Raises your blood sugars, causes a bunch of issues in your body.
For all of my carb lovers out there, stay away from them potatoes, especially those potato chips, the ultra processed versions. Man, you got to really start being conscious of what we're eating out here.
NASA's at it again. NASA will fire 3 rockets at the Ring of Fire solar eclipse this weekend.
That's crazy, y'all. That's just crazy. I'm going to just throw this out there before we get into the video too much. Like, the Ring of Fire eclipse, what if that was truly a portal, right? What if there's a firmament out there? And what if when we're seeing that black hole, that's the only chance that you got on getting out of the firmament to, you know what I'm saying? I can see it. Why else would they shoot a rocket into an eclipse? If the eclipse is what they've been telling us it is, then you're shooting rockets at the moon. Does that make sense?
Ooh. The rockets will go about 50 miles up. Huh, that's interesting. Remember that Encyclopedia Britannica from 1958 that got banned because it said that there's a dome about 50 some miles up? Huh, is that why they're going 50 miles up? Because that's as far as they can go? And these rockets are going to go up into the ionosphere, which is where the air becomes electric. Huh, that's interesting because a lot of flat earthers say that the firmament, dome, the vault of stars above us, which circles above us in a clockwise manner, which makes sense, they say that it actually moves due to electromagnetism. Huh. By golly, I gotta put my spectacles on for this one, because am I reading this right? Okay, if you think of the ionosphere as a pond with some gentle ripples on it, the eclipse is like a motorboat that suddenly rips through the water. It creates a wake immediately underneath and behind it, and then the water level momentarily goes up and rushes back in. Oh my gosh! The Bible, the Word of God, literally says there is water above us and below us. Why would there be water in outer space? Unless outer space is a lie. Ooh, are you moving right now? I'm not moving right now. Are you moving? You feel like you're moving? You might want to see a doctor. I mean, I'm not a professional.
1,000 miles an hour.
Psalm 104:5. He set the earth on its foundations, never to be moved. Are you hearing that, lukewarms? Lukewarms. You're not in space, lukewarms. Lukewarms. You're under God's firmament. Lukewarms. You gotta read the Bible literally, okay? Come on, lukewarms. The sun and the moon, they're lights. Genesis 1:16. God made 2 great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars.
All right, so on that note right here, y'all, with the 2 lights, right? Just think about it. If the moon was truly reflecting the light from the sun gives off a hot, bright, a bright light, right? It's more yellow, it gives off a hot light. So don't you think that reflection would also be warm? I believe that the moon gives off a more cool light, a cool white light. It's completely different. It's its own light. It's not the light from the sun. That's just my views, flat earth.
Where and there does he say that he made an earth, made a ball, and he spun it and tilted it and put it around outer space with a dusty rock circling around it too, and made it all go around the sun? Nowhere. Don't say it, truth be told. Don't say it, don't say it. I'm gonna go there. Sun and moon are the same size, shape, and they perfectly eclipse. They are perfect discs of light. They are not spheres, but they have the lying wonder placed upon them to give the illusion that they are in outer space. Ooh, does the Bible support this? Yeah, it does. Here we go. This is from my homie Paul when he wrote his letter to Ephesus. Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, authorities, powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Yeah, guys, up there is some wickedness in the sky. So the moon has never made sense why you can see directly through it and why it never actually spins. It's always that same image. Well, there you go. There's rulers, powers, and authorities in the heavenly realms, and they're quite wicked. You all know that I think we live in the season of Satan, which is Revelation 20, verse 7. We've done that in a video before. But did you know the book of Enoch says, in chapter 80, it says, "For in the times of the sinners, the moon shall alter her order, shall alter her appearance." There you have it. There were no craters in ancient art depictions of the moon, but the moon suddenly had a lying wonder of craters placed upon it so as to deceive. And furthermore, in the book of Enoch, chapter 80, gotta get the glasses on, chapter 80, verse 7, "And the whole order of the stars shall be concealed from the sinners, and the thoughts of those on the earth shall err concerning them." Oh my goodness, it predicted that the thoughts of mankind would err in how they perceive the sun, moon, and stars. Hello, NASA. I see you. They are at the forefront of this error. But why would God allow the things in our sky to be such a deception? I thought God was supposed to be good. Oh, he is. Remember that God came here in the flesh and took on the sins of the world, conquering death for us, all who believe, made righteous, born again, and then, yeah, eternal life. But let's read this Bible verse too. 2 Thessalonians 2, 9-12, "The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie. And all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing, they perish because they refuse to love the truth, Jesus Christ, and so be saved. For this reason, God sends a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth but had delighted in wickedness." Guys, this has given you an idea of how God's heart works. Yeah, I know that verse doesn't say anything about the sun, moon, and stars, but that verse does tell you that if you do not accept Jesus Christ, then he will allow a strong delusion to take place. That doesn't mean that flat earth, globe earth is a salvation issue, but my golly, friends, globe earth is a slippery slope into atheism. It's a slippery slope into the Big Bang, evolution, and other things that serve that lie. I'm talking to you, lukewarms. So yeah, this weekend, enjoy seeing several rockets go straight up, then out, and then back down again, so they avoid hitting the dome. They better be leaving God's firmament alone. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. And I'm sorry if I had to get a little hard on you, lukewarms. Like I said, once you wake up, you won't be lukewarm for Christ no more. You'll be all in. And if you're having a little bit of a difficult time perceiving what the sun and the moon are after I made this video, think of them as rainbows. You can't get to them. You can't land on them. But they're wholly spiritual and amazing. Side note, anyone ever look at a double rainbow? How the colors are literally the flipped version of each other? It's almost like God is showing you that above us is not only a dome, but a mirrored refractive type surface. Interesting. Huh. That's a whole nother can of worms. Happy thinking. So this weekend you might get lucky enough to see a rocket like this SpaceX rocket skimming on the waters above. You don't think we live in the season of Satan? Oh, you're probably right.
So they had me sign an agreement.
He called them lukewarms, though. That's crazy, though. Lukewarms, globetars, same thing. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, y'all gonna keep saying us flat earthers is crazy. The proof is in the pudding.
To sneak in for him with a hidden camera and get footage. And I'm like, yeah, right. Because this is me like, 21 years ago. I wasn't into the whole Satanism thing or pedophile thing. I thought it was BS. I was more like a mainline libertarian, kind of like a mainline Republican, pro-gun guy. But but I'd already snuck on some military bases and stuff and got some hidden footage. They said, will you go in? I said, absolutely, pay my plane ticket, pay me money, do whatever, I'll do it. I sneak in, I get questioned by the Secret Service in these big redwoods, And I go, okay, that's it. I'm going to hide. There's footage of all this. I'm going to hide just under a deck till it gets dark. Because they claim by this little lake, there's this big stone owl. They're going to do this ritual.
Somebody just spotted Skynet from Terminator. This for entertainment purposes only, gang. Only entertainment. What the fuck is this? Can I get an explanation?
Oh, snap.
On what the fuck is this? And for those who want to be more entertained, Skynet was basically the network system that was used inside of the Terminator. Yeah, they were so intelligent that they decided to shut it down, and when they tried to shut it down, Skynet declared war on the humans. Caused a nuclear war, killed like 3 billion people, I think. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, what the fuck is going on to where, is it like a prank? I'm trying to see, is this shit a prank or some shit? Like, how would something out of the Terminator movie be used or be spotted in real life? My fucking head, like, I'm trying to see the fuck going on for real. Hey, aren't you guys entertained with Skynet seeing this shit in real life? Yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this shit in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Go follow me on YouTube. We finna drop more exclusive content. And by the way, TikTok, this for entertainment purposes only.
Listen, The Terminator and The Matrix are both movies about our future. You know, that's literally where we're going to. We have all of these Neuralink things and people trying to be cyborgs and go into these different metaverses and virtual realities and spatial realities, right? To where they're going to get hooked up and get put into the Matrix. So that was a vision of the future. And then you have Skynet. They're showing us literally, you know, and bro tripping. He like, this is making my head hurt. I'm seeing Skynet. Well, shoot, you're going to really be tripping when you see the Terminator walking on the street. But it's just, these are things that are to come. You know, when they put these movies out, these are ideas that they are working on. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they didn't have that idea before, once the movie's out there, the idea's out there. So now they're going to start working towards it. But be ready, y'all, man. Stay prepared, because we're going to be in some strange times here soon.
This world is about to go to war and everything will end, but it don't gotta end for you. There is an X that is covering America. It started in 2017 and the X will end in 2024. Do you know what that means? Understand what we are dealing with here. We're dealing with order and we're dealing with chaos. The people that so-called control this world, they create chaos so they can build a whole new order, new world order. Never forget that these people are just puppets. The ones that control everything, you've never seen them before. This is the 13 families that control everything on this planet and other planets in our solar system. It goes deep. They even made the 13 zodiacs. Each zodiac represents each family in the 13 tribes. Like I said, this world will end, but it don't have to end for you. We are going into the new earth or a new shift. Do you know what a new shift really means? The pole shift means everything that's happening right now is going to be flipped upside down. So the ones that's controlling this world, they will no longer control it. Spiritual people are about to lead the world again, how it's supposed to be. These people did so much dirt to us, they are trying to leave, but they can't leave. So they're going to try to destroy everything and destroy us in the process, but it's not going to work this time. If you go outside in nature and quiet your mind and listen, you can hear the world talking to you. The world is trying to give us guidance of what to do and what not to do. It's about to get real hectic. I hope people been doing their spiritual work, their shadow work, their meditation, their grounding, you change your diet. I hope you've been doing all this, because we're gonna need every bit of energy that we have. Countries, flags, cities, states, all of that stuff is just illusions of separation. Every time you see a flag, I want you to understand that they are telling you that we are not the same, and it's not true. Remember, we are not separate from the universe. The universe is not out there and we are over here. We are all the universe. Do you remember? If you don't remember, you gotta ask yourself, why don't I remember who I am? If you want more tips about spirituality and shadow work, check out Shadows of the Matrix. The link is in the bio.
Okay, he done got his own book, Shadows of the Matrix.
Cloning has already started.
It has already started?
Back in the day, it used to cost $50,000. Who knows how much it costs now? If you ever notice a rapper first, everything's fine. Then something goes wrong. They get out of line. They end up in jail. They come back looking totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to us.
Dressing different.
If we're gonna let them play in our face, or if we're gonna go, that ain't him. And then speaking of they clone Tyrone, isn't Jamie Foxx part of that?
He came out looking, they were like, where's the tattoo?
Where's his tattoo on the back of his head?
They showed a picture of him.
He was in like McDonald's or Wendy's or some damn where.
Crazy.
It looked like the clone was just testing itself out. Like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Let's see what's going on. I'm happy to be in the world. It seemed like the clone was literally testing himself out. But my thing is, where was the tattoo on the back of his head? And it just makes you wonder, like, do they do this shit to like play with us, to like see if we know, to see if we still dumb, to see how many of us are dumb, to see how many of us are brainwashed so they can know how many more to continue to brainwash?
Yo, I gotta see the full interview now. Y'all, I heard that OJ Simpson was also cloned, right? There's a story that OJ's mom came to see OJ or something like during the trial or whatever. And she walked up to him and she said, "That's not my son." And she left. Now, I don't know how true that story is, but it's like, I can see it though. I could definitely see it. This whole cloning thing is crazy. They could have cloned everybody on this world, right? We could be living in the year 3000. They could have cloned everybody and just started the world over, with their own timeline. We don't know what time we living in. I know I keep talking. Yeah, have y'all seen the new show Loki? Right, Loki kind of, builds on top of this with different timelines and things like that. Like the people were snatched from their timeline, thrown into this world, and their memories were erased, and they just thought that they were from that time. Who's to say that that's not what's going on right now? Who's to say the Men in Black didn't come somewhere with something and erase everybody's memory? I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think.
I told y'all that's what happens, man. When you sell out, you sell your soul for the money, power, and fame, man. Eventually, your influence run out. They sign you for the influence, but the devil want your talent. Don't want nothing else. You gotta understand he was one of the, most talented angels, you know what I'm saying? All that has been wiped away. The moment you can tell, look, it was hot as fish. It was hot as fish grease. Everybody was bumping. Every female was bumping them. You mean to tell me they only could sell 6,000 units? Not even 10,000 first week. Think about when it first came out, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna touch on this right now though, because it's not. I mean, not to agree with the City Girls. I don't even like this album. I don't like the name of it. It's ratchet. That's what it's screaming to me. Completely ratchet and degrading. But however, you can't compare the units being sold in today's time to years ago, because there was no streaming services years ago. There was nowhere else for you to get your music from aside from going and buying the actual album, right? So no one's buying albums anymore. When's the last time you have bought an actual album, a physical album, or even bought it on Apple Music or whatever? You just pay for the service and you stream it every now and then. You didn't buy it. So, and streams count for like very small percentages of a unit being sold. So 6,000 to 8,000 units, that's decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Nipsey Hussle might have sold more than that, like on the streets, but still.
How did this happen, man? How? Like, what happened? Old girl with P. Diddy, the other girl with fucking Lil Uzi. You do the Mac, man. Do the Mac. I'm telling y'all, man. Like, you gotta grind shit out. Don't get that overnight success, because you're gonna end up like this, man. Grind that shit. You don't need the million first week, man. You don't need the 100,000 first week. You gotta grind your shit. Start off 15,000. Work that shit up to 25, 50. Go up like that. Don't go up your first album 300,000. Yeah, cause guess what? In a couple years, that shit gonna go way to the fucking bottom, bro.
Did y'all see what Biden said? They had to cut him off from the mic. Check it out.
Nobody likes having celebrated international meetings if you don't know what you want at the meeting. If you don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. Yeah, we talked about at the conference overall. We talked about stability. We talked about making sure that the third world, the Southern Hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all. He came up to me.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, somebody said there should be a age cutoff. Again, I do think that's kind of ageist, but...
Ageist? Bro, what is up with so much sensitivity in the world today? Ageist? I didn't know that was a thing. Bro, like, if you too old, you too old. Like, come on, like... That's crazy.
This is not looking good. And, you know, the whole talk about the third world and the Southern Hemisphere is like, it makes you wonder, like, is there some kind of logic to that? Like, did he just release information that was not supposed to be released and that's why he got cut off? Or did he get cut off because he's old and he's losing his mind? So it's the state of our affairs for the United States of America. American dream, y'all.
I mean, keep having fun watching the puppet show, y'all. Oh man, this is what your ground beef comes from? Dang. I don't even know what that was.
Okay, I'm confused about this backyard here. Oh. Like, this is supposed to be my backyard, right? And then when I go downstairs, I know it's not gonna be the same. What the fuck? I'm literally confused. I swear. Makes sense, no?
Alright, so with that one, my guess, she was on a deck, a balcony at the top, and then she looked over the balcony and she looked straight down. She's probably looking in someone else's yard because she just walked straight out from her house. There should be a deck right above her. Could be wrong though. Could just be a glitch.
I don't know. Like, where's all my cans?
This happens to me every day. Look, that's a RAV4 on level 3. It's right there, right? The third spot down. Now, I swear to God, this happens to me every fucking day. I park always on the 4th floor, but always different places. Level 4. My fucking RAV4. Dude, this happens to me every day.
What?
Every day.
Okay, now this one's a little bit crazy.
On level 3, a RAV4 is always parked in the same exact space that I fucking am. It's weird.
That's a little strange.
Lab-grown meat will soon be on the shelves of this grocery store and almost every other grocery store in the United States. 2 companies have now been approved by the FDA to make lab-grown meat and sell it to you and your family, and production has already begun. This is a travesty waiting to happen. Lab-grown meat is not real meat. It's made in cell culture in a lab. It's almost certainly going to cause health issues for humans, autoimmune issues, damage to the gut. All sorts of problems can arise from meat grown in a petri dish. It's going to have an inferior nutrient profile to meat from a cow that has grown eating grass in nature, and it's worse for the environment. Multiple studies have now shown that lab-grown meat is significantly harsher and more damaging to the environment in terms of total carbon footprint and energy costs. So why in the world would you eat lab-grown meat when you could just eat real, nutrient-rich meat like your ancestors have been doing for hundreds of thousands of years? I don't know, but it's coming, and you better believe they're going to try and convince you that it's better for you and better for the planet, and that is bullshit.
Them some crazy masks, if they're masks.
My kids were sitting here eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or maybe their favorite, Lucky Charms. Now, I was a contractor for 22 years, and we used to do paint prep, do cleaning and things like that. And I'm sitting there reading a box, and I noticed that it says it contains trisodium phosphate.
Trisodium phosphate. Look that up when y'all get a chance. But an easier way for y'all to check out which cereal you should eat and which cereal you shouldn't eat is at the bottom of each cereal box. There's going to be a line that says contains bioengineered ingredients. Literally, go down your cereal aisle and look at every cereal box. I'm sure every single one of them has it, unless it's like some all natural grains or something like that. Like there's a few, like a few brands that don't have that ingredient, but just about every single one of them has bioengineered ingredients. Then I want you to think about, why is it that every single grocery store has a whole aisle dedicated to just cereal, right? They don't have that for basically anything else other than chips. Chips and cereal have a whole aisle dedicated just for themselves because they're the worst things that you can get in the grocery store. And it's the number one thing that kids want to eat.
This TSP, let's see, trisodium phosphate, harmful if swallowed, eye irritant, skin irritant, if ingested, call poison control. Poison control. Let's see here. Trisodium phosphate. And it's not way down here with the vitamins. It's way up here. That's on Lucky Charms. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We've got Star Wars. Trisodium phosphate. This is a carcinogen that we're feeding our kids. And General Mills is putting it in all of their stinking cereal. If I sprinkled trisodium phosphate on my kids' cereal, if I put this on there, I would go to prison for poisoning my children. But yet, they're putting it in our cereals for our kids to eat.
Stop giving your kids cereal, y'all.
Have y'all heard about what Alexa said about the next presidential election? Just for entertainment purposes only. Let's listen very closely.
Want to hear some fucked up shit? Alexa, who will win the next American election?
The 2024 American election will not take place. There will be no winner. War Powers Resolution of 1973, or the War Powers Act, will be invoked by the act of war with Russia and China. Once an invoked, the standing party will retain and remain in power.
Once again, this for entertainment purposes only. Who programmed Alexa? You feel me? Why is Alexa saying this? Somebody wrote this in Alexa program that we will not have an election in 2024. Why? So that mean Biden will stay president? The tensions in Ukraine is rising. Y'all just seen what North Korea and Putin just did, right? Yeah, that little meeting that they had, and how North Korea said they trying to send soldiers over there into Ukraine. Somebody who got Alexa, ask her about this and tag me in the video. Let me know what y'all think about what Alexa said about the next presidential election in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
What y'all think? Y'all think we're going to have an election next year?
They don't want us to know that we can heal ourselves.
They don't want us to know that through a simple lifestyle and diet change, we can thrive. They don't want us to know that the medications they are giving us is only putting a Band-Aid on the problem, never healing. They don't want us to know that the highly processed food, the highly processed sugar, is what is causing the inflammation. It's causing the diabetes. It's causing the heart disease. It's causing the cancer. They don't want us to know that it's causing the stress, causing the anxiety, causing the depression. As you are sitting there suffering, they don't want us to know because they want us to stay addicted.
All right, so what I'm going to say on that is, once we do know, once we do have the knowledge to not eat those things, are we going to actually do it? Most people won't. They're just going to go about their daily lives because whatever is convenient for them, that's what they're going to do. And these processed foods, they sell convenience, basically. That's why they call it a convenience store. You know, that's where most processed stuff comes from. So once we get away from that and we start doing the work ourselves, that's when a person's they're going to change. But just by giving them the knowledge so that they know, like you tell a person, don't eat that McDonald's bad for you. I bet they're going to go back and eat the McDonald's still. So it's all about the person. You got to change within yourself first.
I think it's pretty safe to say we can all see what's coming. And whether your plan is to comply or not doesn't really matter. The vast majority are going to be affected by it. In my opinion, you better put some distance between you and the crowd if you want any shot at being left alone to live your life. If you've made the decision to find yourself a little piece of land, set up systems that will take care of your loved ones, and take back control of your life, I applaud you. I figure we have until about April before things start getting really rough. If it's anything like last time, optimistically considering that the whole thing doesn't just collapse under the weight of a poverty-stricken middle class, mass hunger, and civil unrest, which I can only really assume is the plan, it'll more than likely get worse until February or March of 2025 when whoever wins can come in and play savior. This is not about politics. Yeah. We've organized our life in such a way that makes us fairly immune from that particular infection. These videos are just my effort to help some of y'all do the same. It's actually kind of funny. Since I made that first video about acquiring off-grid property, I've been called a progressive scumbag as well as a right-wing nutjob. Go on. Honestly, I'm just surprised there's people left that still have enough faith in the political system to spend their time arguing about it. Besides, the only candidate I've ever seen on a bumper sticker that had any real follow-through and couldn't be stopped by the other side was Giant Meteor running on the Let Me Get a Mulligan platform. Other than that, fighting about politics is not the solution. It's just one of many problems. And I'm also not trying to scare anyone. I don't think I'm saying anything that everyone's not already thinking. The only solution I can see is to help people to increase their self-reliance, to increase their ability to make a lot out of a little, and to help people decrease their dependency on systems that have been developed over generations to control their decision-making process. Living out here and living the way we do, I can tell you for sure, it's very freeing. I've shared just about everything I know about how to acquire off-grid property, and the response has been pretty overwhelming. This is my overwhelmed face. So I'm working on a series of videos on all of the different skills you should try and develop before you go out on your adventure. I can promise you that most of the important ones are not what you think. It would appear that we don't have a lot of time before bad starts getting worse. So share this video with your loved ones, tell me your opinion in the comments, and follow this account if you want to know more.
All right, y'all. I guess we got to go follow 7K in Homestead because he's giving us the knowledge.
Conspiracy theorist, but that is the sun going down over there. Am I correct about that? Now look at this. Directly behind me. What is that?
Yo.
I'm not a flat earther by any means, but that and that can't both be the sun. So what the hell is happening? There's nothing moving behind those clouds. It's just a big bright ball. And then that's the sun going down in the west by the ocean. So what the fuck?
I think that cloud was a lot higher.
This will make you think twice before buying supermarket fruit and veg.
Watch till then to see a clean way in which pesticides and insecticides are not used.
What the heck? I don't want to eat nothing no more, y'all. I'm about to fast. I don't want to even drink no water. Look at this, man. From the day we born. All the medications they giving y'all. I don't take no medications. Meat glue. Don't know what ice cream is. It said washing cream. What? Oh, nah. I gotta check my coffee, y'all.
I bring to you underwater farming. This is called Nemo's Garden in Italy. The food is grown inside domes, and these are proven to be better than greenhouses.
Oh, snap. Underwater farming.
This could change the agricultural world as we know it, for the better. For this to happen, we all need to act, because this will just be silenced by the big GMO companies, as there is no profit for them in this method of farming. It also works just like our geocentric flat Earth, but I won't go into that on this one. So far they have only grown a few herbs and fruits, but with enough funding, the possibilities would be endless. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow at Mike Priest ARR for more content like this.
So, listen, y'all. Nemo's Garden literally just showed us what the world is. That's how the world is set up, you know, with the dome above and the waters above and the waters below. If y'all don't see it now, y'all just ain't gonna never see it. Oh, man. Now, this is scary.
Why do you think
ChatGPT is on a whole nother level? That mug can, you could take a picture now and it can look at the picture. It can probably, you could probably video record. I actually seen somebody do that. They had it set up to where they like recorded their refrigerator and it told them everything that was like good in their refrigerator. It could probably talk to you too. ChatGPT is basically Skynet at this point.
the Fed and the government are denying the things that they're doing? Because they know right now you're not in a panic. You're not in a panic about your dollar. Because right now, if you thought about it, you would do something about it. But we don't, in America, for some reason, like to think things through in advance. We like to wait until the very last minute. Well, at the very last minute, and I'm telling you, it's coming. The very last minute, what happens? All of a sudden, there's a crisis of your dollar, and you're like, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I mean, I'll take that. Yes. That's why everything is a crisis right now. That's why they are pushing global warming the way they are. They need you to freak out because it shuts your frontal cortex down. You're no longer thinking.
All right, a community in Chicago protesting a so-called migrant base camp expected to be built on the city's southwest side. More than 1,000 migrants could move to a nearby privately owned and vacant lot.
There's opposition to the city's desire to build winterized base camps in different parts of Chicago. Just last month, residents living in Morgan Park on the far south side bluntly shared their feelings about a possible tent location in their community at 115th and Halsted, where the mayor proposed placing one of these military-grade tents. Now that
What's this?
Look, see that light? Or whatever that is, the sky, it's gonna disappear. It's gone.
Yo, that's crazy.
And it's gonna reappear.
That's crazy.
What is that?
Listen, I don't know, bro. Shout out to you for sending me that video. That came from one of my my followers, guys, my subscribers. I don't know what that was. I ain't never seen no light just disappear like that and then reappear again. Crazy. Ooh.
We're about to go into a dark winter. A dark winter.
The Simpsons predicting a dark winter for 2023. Just watch. This
air conditioning is better than any truant officer. I'm seeing students I haven't seen in years.
Wow.
Hey, Mrs. K.
Oh, Arthur.
We're wasting more energy than Ricky Martin's girlfriend. Hey, you! Gentlemen, our city's sucking down the juice like my wife at an open bar. Mr. Burns, can your plant handle it?
No problem. We've siphoned off extra power from the orphanage. Who are they going to complain to? Their parents?
But, sir, we're at full capacity. One more appliance could overload the system.
Yo, I just had this random thought. What if nuclear plants aren't meant to produce energy, but they're meant to absorb energy? You know, how all the lines were getting connected to the nuclear plant. What if that's what it's for? Because like I said in my last video, all energy is already here in the atmosphere. All the energy that we need is here in the atmosphere. And what if these nuclear plants are here to store that energy for who knows what reason? I don't know what they're going to use it for or who's using it, but I can definitely see that, y'all.
Okay, so somebody explained this video to me.
Mermaids, huh?
What the fuck is this swimming in the water? What is this?
Wow. It looked like a little mermaid, don't it? Who got this footage though? That's what I want.
Could this shit be real? Is that what I think it is? Let's look at this shit. Okay, them are definitely arms. That kind of looked like a mermaid to me. Could my eyes be deceiving me?
I don't know.
Like
man.
and follow for more wisdom.
No.
And stay tuned.
It looked like a mermaid to me.
Okay, let's talk about this image that's behind me right now. Let me give y'all some context for the people that don't know. This video game is GTA 5, right? I used to be somewhat, you would call it, addicted to playing games. I would play from sun up to sundown. One day as I was driving on this game, I stopped because I seen this billboard. You know, wisdom always been wisdom, whether I was playing the game or I was doing whatever I was doing. I always been who I was. So when I seen this, it was like I was staring at this for a whole 20 minutes. Hell is awaiting if you're having fun. And guess what? As I was playing GTA, I was having fun. Then it had me thinking on what energy is at play when I'm playing a game. And if y'all see the image behind me, this is the 7 deadly sins. Let's look over here to our left corner and let's look at sloth. See, when you sit up and you play the game all day, that's channeling your willpower. And when you sit up and play the game all day, that energy is going somewhere. Or the energy that's behind it that these entities is using is sloth. We have to know that we are in a spiritual war. Everything that you do is energy. Your energy is going somewhere. Y'all read this song behind me. Hell awaits if you're having fun. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Y'all still gonna play the game after this? Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
That is crazy, y'all, man. I haven't played GTA in years.
Walk around that chain all day, people gonna be asking you, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah.
All day
This,
long.
by the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I'll tell y'all who got off camera.
Uh-oh.
Stealing chains now? Is it a world star?
Not really stealing. honestly.
Does it mean anything to you though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm with you. I don't like the conversation either. It's like, I call myself the God because I feel like it sometimes. I study a little lessons, but I'm not into all, you know.
Yeah. Religion is like a personal computer, you know. You let people in if you want to.
But in Long Island, they had the gods and the earths, you know, like the 5% nation, the Nation of Islam.
It's not the same thing, but affiliated in a way. It always was intriguing to me because they was out there hustling and doing their thing, but at the same time, they had a lot of knowledge. I had a group of friends in school, and we were all interested in this information, and we were actually cut out of school to go to the library because we realized that school wasn't teaching us about the history of our culture and our people. I had bumped into some other books that these Muslim brothers used to sell on the streets. The author was Dr. Malachi Z. York. His books just opened my eyes even wider. Simple things like when you say amen after you pray, like where does that come from? Like the origin of the Bible, the origin of the Quran. And I came across the word Illuminati. I wanted to put what I was learning into the music, but I didn't want to turn the fans off. So I decided to plant seeds.
About a year later, after the song comes out, Jay-Z drops his debut Reasonable Doubt, and on it he has a song called The Eagles. What is the Illuminati? Like, if you could break down what it is that we're actually talking about when we say Illuminati.
It's a group that was formed like in the 1700s, something like that, 1600s. This dude named Adam Weishaupt, he started this group of people, like powerful, rich people that basically could shape popular opinion and the way, you know, the world is gonna move forward. The word means like the illuminated ones. Light is like information. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you see the light now. I found out the origin of the information that they were teaching. It basically comes from this group called the Essenes in Egypt. These are like the original black culture. It's like the scholars, doctors, scientists, esoteric thinkers, and they just knew how to do stuff. Like, for example, look at the pyramids. Nobody understands how those pyramids were built. These are the people that had that knowledge. Eye of Horus, the pyramid, those are artifacts and things from black culture. They represent certain things of our people from ancient black history of Egypt. You know what I mean? Ancient Egypt. You got these group of people, they break into the tombs, they steal the riches like the gold and the mummies, and they rape and pillage our culture. They got you thinking your own people and your own artifacts and your own symbolism is evil.
That's crazy, y'all. Listen, man, R.I.P. to him, man. He dropping them gems, y'all. For real, for real.
And a little sucky, you know. Who knew that social media was gonna work? That was brilliant. Everyone too wrapped up in cat videos and sending to procreate instead of think with their brains. Very nice. Sure helped with my case during the elections. And you two crazy kids with your crusades, nothing like a little monotheism to throw people into centuries of battles over exactly the same ideology.
Crazy.
Boy, what the fuck going on in Miami, bro? No, this shit just disappeared.
This is a little freaky though. I'm not gonna lie. I know people gonna say it's fake, but it's still creepy. Just imagine. Where'd she go? Yo, what y'all think about that?
Did you guys hear about this? Apparently this scientist out in Antarctica just found a bird that they are calling the opium bird. Check this out. Just 1 week ago, James Blake, a scientist from Denmark, had recently left a research center in the United States on an expedition in the Antarctic. The goal of the expedition was to find evidence of new or extinct species in these areas. He set up camp with his team and would travel around in the area for the next 8 days to analyze the behavior of the wild wildlife there. However, a week went by and he found nothing of great significance. This did not dishearten James, and he was still ambitious to find something. Little did he know what he would find next would change his life. He started by exploring a new area of the Antarctic with very little research done on it. When he arrived, he searched around for 30 minutes and found a huge white feather on the floor. However, what was really shocking was this feather didn't belong to any animals that he knew roamed in the Antarctic today. Then less than 5 minutes later, he found another feather and knew there was a pattern. So he climbed a nearby ice mountain in hopes to hit big. When he got to the top of the mountain, he saw something that shocked him to his core. There was a 14-foot tall bird stood in front of him, and he couldn't believe his eyes as he had no idea what species this was. He promptly took a photo of the bird and recorded it before leaving. To see the footage follow this account, then press share, then more, then photos.
Okay, we gotta see opium bird. They all want it. This in DC, huh?
Hey, y'all listen to this right here, man. Y'all might want to pay attention. Listen really soon. Right on your doorstep. Everybody's got.
Hold on, y'all. This light too bright. Feel like I was about to go blind over here.
What's going on in the Middle East? What's going to happen, Barry? Is this World War III? A lot of fighting, a lot of badness. We got all this stuff going on our southern border. A lot of bad people getting in. If you live in a major city, you better keep your head on a swivel. I don't know if you support the Second Amendment or not, but you just might get an opportunity real soon to exercise that. And if you're not putting yourself, if you're not already in a position where you're physically prepared to protect yourself. If you got some disability, you're elderly, you're younger, surround yourself with people that are physically capable of protecting yourself and protecting you. It could be your life. United States, you could be in a fight for your life sooner than you realize it. Your training and preparation begin right now.
The police don't want you to know this, so please.
Crazy. Like for real, like I don't even like letting my kids go use the public bathroom by themselves, you know. I like to, you know, like, hey, wait till we get home or something, you know, like it's just crazy out here. You can't trust nothing, you can't trust nobody.
7 ways to deprogram yourself from the matrix. Now this is for educational purposes only. These are my opinions. So please go do your own research and think for yourself. Number 1, stop giving your power away to external authority. What I mean is stop giving your power away to the political system. Number 2, break the shackles of organized religion. Organized religion imposes what to think and what not to think, and we should be thinking for ourselves. Number 3, question the economic system, because in our global economic system, money is created out of debt. Number 4, stop being a consumer. This system has conditioned us to consume things and make us think that consuming things is what we need to be happy in life. Number 5, beware of the media, because the media was created to mislead and manipulate how we think. Number 6, watch what you eat, because most foods are processed and filled with preservatives that are affecting our health. And number 7, develop mindfulness. We need to learn how to live in the present moment and not live in the past or the future. Peace, get woke, and keep rising.
Stop right there.
Let's go.
What if I told you there's a mind-blowing secret they're keeping from you? Long before silver spoons were a symbol of wealth, they were a symbol of survival. Parents let their newborns suck on silver spoons for one incredible reason.
So this video is on colloidal silver. Very interesting.
Hey, before we get into this, right? The colloidal silver, and I think it might actually be that brand right there. Man, I used to take that. I used to give it to my kids all the time. They never got sick, right? One time my son, you know, he was feeling a little under the weather. Gave him a little of that silver, and then the next day, perfectly fine. So I mess with the colloidal silver though.
Natural.
Man, look, so I'm not a doctor or anything, so you could take my advice if you'd like, but I'm not suggesting you to do so. However, one time, right, my son had an ear infection, right? I didn't want to give him the antibiotics. That's what they prescribe for kids with ear infections. I'm like, I don't need any antibiotic, anything. If anything, we need some probiotics in here. So then I was like, okay, start putting a few drops in his ear. I kid you not, cured the ear infection. No antibiotics used at all.
Before TikTok takes this video down, you need to pay attention, because I'm going to show you a CIA agent react to what Biden said 2 days ago. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, but things are not looking good.
What I'm going to do with you right now is I'm going to take you through the presidential address as it was published by the White House, and I will actually show you the points at which information was not accurate and where you were misled intentionally using two techniques known as the lie of influence and the lie of omission. So with that, we'll just jump into it, because I really don't know what else to say besides that. I am disappointed and sad as an American citizen, and I am frustrated, not necessarily because I believe the president intended to lie to us, but I do believe that either he is being misled or he is intentionally misleading us. Either way, this is my chance to do what I think is right and share with you the points at which I believe we are being misled as the American people, as the American public. So let's go.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We're facing an inflection point in history. One of those moments where the decisions we make today are going to determine the future for decades to come.
Now, right away, with the calling out of this inflection point in history, I believe that the president is exactly right. I could not agree with you more, President Biden, on this point. We are at an inflection point. Now, for those of you who don't know what an inflection point is in engineering terms, it's a point in which a piece of steel or a piece of material starts to break under pressure. And in that point of weakness, it has an inflection. And that is where we are for sure. We are at a point of weakness in history. And the question is whether that weakness is American weakness or some other kind of weakness. But without a doubt, we are at a point in our history where we have to decide and make decisions today that will impact our children and our children's children after that. This is a very important moment.
They tell me I'm the first American president to travel there during a war. I met with the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet. And most movingly, I met with Israelis who had personally lived through horrific horror of the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October.
So let's take a moment to be honest about the Prime Minister of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is a criminal in the eyes of Israel. He is currently under an indictment and in an open investigation for fraud and corruption. It cost him his prime minister seat in 2019, and it's the reason that Israel's had 3 prime ministers since 2020. Even now, as he sits in that seat since 2022, being re-elected with a total of more than 16 years in the prime minister seat, on October 6th, just before the attacks happened in Israel, Netanyahu was at an all-time low in terms of public support in Israel. He is supported by a far-right, conservative, aggressive, and hawkish government, and he was actively trying to change the court system in Israel so that his indictment and investigation would be terminated. The man that we are talking about supporting here, the prime minister that President Biden met with, is essentially a carbon copy of the Donald Trump persona that we have here in the United States. A strong, hawkish, right-leaning conservative who is currently under indictment and facing criminal charges for corruption and fraud, among other things. So don't think for a second that the prime minister in Israel is a good guy. He is not. He is not supported by Israel. He is under criminal charges, and in many ways, the invasion, the aggression that happened on October 8th is a very convenient way of him to redirect his own people off of his own issues. So don't be misled, and I want to make sure that the world understands that Netanyahu is in no way comparable to our own President Biden.
More than 1,300 people slaughtered in Israel, including at least 32 American citizens.
This is another area that I want to make sure we speak about. Body counts. When we start talking about body counts, this is a phenomenon that really didn't exist prior to the Vietnam War. When the White House and when official public politicians speak about body counts, they're doing it so that they can create some kind of emotional reaction from you and I and the audience watching. We want to hear the number 1,300 and think that it's devastating. Let me give you another number. That other number is 3,700. That's how many Palestinian civilians have been lost in this conflict. You will always hear people talk about the number of Israeli deaths, and it is accurate. It's about 1,400 or more, and there's few dead from the original October 7th attack. However, there has not been another ground attack since October 7th. And in comparison to that, there have been multiple weeks of aerial bombing that have happened inside Gaza that have killed almost 3 times as many Palestinians. Even worse than that, the number of injured exceeds more than 300% in Gaza versus what happened in Israel. So you have 3 times as much damage being wrought in Gaza against civilians, children, elderly, women, families that are simply landlocked in this strip of land that was militarily oppressed and domestically oppressed by Israel prior to the war. So while it is atrocious and sad to hear what happened to Israel on October 7th, we have to also remember that if we're going to count bodies, we need to also count the bodies of the victims on the other side.
As president, there is no higher priority for me than the safety of Americans held hostage.
That is the first lie from the president. He does have higher priorities than the American hostages inside of Israel. Let's face it, he's responsible for 300 million people here in the United States, not just the 34 that he referenced in Gaza. So without a doubt, there are priorities, and the president prioritizes the protection of American citizens. But what he's also not telling you is that many of the American citizens are dual citizenship holders. They are both Israeli and American citizens. So if you're not aware that you can have multiple citizenships, there are multiple countries in the United States where we have an agreement where you can have more than one citizenship. It's kind of up to the American people to choose whether a true American citizen with just one citizenship is any different than an American citizen who carries another citizenship. But it's not as if the Americans were targeted by Hamas in their attack. They were not. Hamas was simply snatching and grabbing anybody that they could, knowing that they needed hostages out of Israel, which is why you saw so many young and old being taken, because there was no plan, there was no intentionality between how Hamas was executing killings versus how they were taking hostages. So I don't want you to think for a second that the president is actually prioritizing the hostages in Gaza as his top priority. They are not. He has many, many other priorities, including domestic policies here in the United States and his own long-term political future as the President of the United States. So I'm going to call you out on that, President Biden. I believe that what you said there was not 100% accurate. I believe that that was what's known as a lie of influence, meaning it was an intentional misleading or possibly a misstatement intended to influence the public in your favor.
The terrorist group Hamas unleashed pure, unadulterated evil in the world.
Now let's talk about Hamas for a moment, because
How long can TikToks be? This might have been like 10 minutes.
President Biden just called them a terrorist group. Let's be honest about Hamas. They have been labeled a terrorist group by less than 12 countries in the world. The vast majority of the world, including the UN, does not consider Hamas a terrorist group. Instead, they consider Hamas to be a political party, a force, and the legislative body of the Gaza Strip, elected democratically and in power since 2007. So Hamas, whether we like to admit it or not, has a militant wing, but they are also a recognized political party inside the Gaza Strip. They were voted into power. They have an established leader and a hierarchy. And even worse, they are a party, they are a political party without any kind of citizenship, because the Palestinians who they represent aren't a recognized country. So what that means is that Palestine and Hamas are politically accepted by the majority of the world, right? It's really only the United States, the US allies, Paraguay, and the European Union that see Hamas as an actual terrorist organization, and of course Israel as well. The rest of the world sees Hamas as a political group without a country, and importantly, without a military to defend itself. So I want to make sure that you understand that when the president says that Hamas is a terrorist organization, he's really talking from an American point of view only. In the eyes of the Americans and in the eyes of the Israelis, Hamas is a terrorist group. But to be fair, in the eyes of Iran, the U.S. military is a terrorist group. So it's all about perspective on this one.
But sadly, the Jewish people know perhaps better than anyone that there is no limit to the depravity of people when they want to inflict pain.
Now, for those who are paying attention, let me know if you guys want a part 2 so you can see more of the lies that are being told. And all you have to do is like, follow, and share this video, and a part 2 will come.
Okay, dude was shining the light on a lot of things that he was saying, no lie. You kind of got to be careful when watching the news during these times, because during war, all information is basically just propaganda. You know, they're going to make you feel a certain type of way, you know, so you can approve of the war.
Pay attention. What else did we say? Hey, I'm asking the questions here, Miss Milano. You answer the questions that I ask, okay? Because if I don't know what's going on...
We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to see. It's like the mafia. They don't even exist.
Okay. That's good. That's a start. They don't even exist. So where are they from? Who the hell are they?
Mr. Hobbs, there are certain phenomena which can only be explained if there is a God. And if there are angels, and there are, they exist. Some of these angels were cast down, and a few of the fallen were punished by being deprived of form. They can only survive in the bodies of others. It's inside of us, inside of human beings. Their vengeance is played out.
That's it. Come on, get out of here. I mean, come on. What? I mean, Miss Milano, I'm just a cop, okay? I'm a detective. My work is based upon evidence, facts.
Mine too. And aren't your facts here rather resistant to normal interpretation?
So you're saying that Edgar Reese is actually...
At the time you knew him, he was not himself.
He was Azazel.
Yes, Azazel. Sadistic, left-handed, likes to sing.
Reese?
Yes.
So why does he focus in on me? What you do?
Got his attention. So he tried to get inside you. Remember, he shook your hand. That didn't work, so now he's going to try and find some other way.
Crazy. Like you did with your father.
This is why you guys want to protect yourselves at all times. Spiritual energy transfer is a real thing. All right? Especially as an awakened one. Your light is shining bright, so you catch these entities' attention. And they will try to attack you through other people. As you saw with Denzel's character, the entity tried to shake his hand to get to him, but it didn't work. right? This is why I don't like when people try to touch me without my permission, handshake or touching my locks, because I know that's a form of energy transfer. People coming up to you and just touching you and, you know, breaking your boundaries, and you thinking they mean no harm. You don't know what their true intentions are.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to be very mindful. See, we've been taught that anything that you can't perceive with your 5 senses doesn't exist. We've been taught a lie. You have a whole microscopic world that's full of intelligent life forms like viruses and bacteria that you can't see, but they play a part in your life every single day. Especially with SCX. That's a major energy transfer, so you got to be mindful of who you laying down with too. Okay, guys? You got to have spiritual discernment in this today's times, because we're in a spiritual war. All right?
Yo, for real, you don't want nobody to jump into your body, man. It's like, just imagine that, like, another soul or another spirit or another entity could just jump into your body and affect your mood, and you might think you having a bad day. You know, you might want to go mess something up, but that ain't even you. That's another spirit or another form of energy messing with you.
Selling bodies and body parts, a trial set to begin in just months. And tonight, new grisly details of what the FBI says really happened.
ABC 15's Nicole Valdez is live.
This building off 24th Street, the university, doesn't look like much, but according to new claims in these court documents, the Biological Resource Center was essentially running a chop shop for human body parts, mixing, matching, and selling them in ways we'd never heard of until tonight.
One FBI agent revealing what it was really like inside the Phoenix body donation facility, from buckets of heads, arms, and legs to coolers filled with severed penises when the FBI raided the building. He even spotted a smaller head sewn onto a larger torso in a, quote, Frankenstein manner. The limbs, according to that agent, with no apparent identification. A torso with a head apparently went for $2,400. A leg about $1,100. They'd even sell knees and feet alone for under $500.
The owner of the Biological Resource Center was already sentenced, but he was only given probation.
Yeah, what? Human chop shop, y'all. Wow.
They don't like human beings. In their history, in their teachings, the Andromedans say that they were taught that this universe was...
Them the ones out here chopping us up. That's what it was. It's them people right there. Like he just said, they don't like human beings. They in there, man, they playing, what's his name off Toy Story, Sid? They out here acting like Sid.
...was here for them. That they were left here and told it was theirs to rule. But when they started traveling, they ran across other races. And they were able to conquer many of those races. And how they've conquered those races was through genetic altering. Now, our government, the United States government, the world government, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, wants to implant everybody.
Do you think what he is saying sounds credible or just a bunch of lies made for entertainment? Mind you, this was filmed in the 90s, and it has been almost 30 years since this was filmed. Put your idea in the comments below if this sounds credible or not. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Extraterrestrials, they can't be bothered with that stuff. Those are toys. That's not permanent. You can always lose the hand. It can always burn out. You could always die. In extraterrestrials, they don't value gold or silver. They value genetics. So what they do is they will come in, conquer a race, and genetically alter it. And it is the genetics that they put inside these races that alters their frequency, their sound, their thoughts, everything about them. Apparently the Greys were much more human-looking at one time. They, as a race, were captured approximately 893,000 years ago. According to Mornay, the first thing they did was they slaughtered almost all of the women. The reason they do that is to control the birth process. And what they did was they started to genetically alter the women, the females of that race, so that all the children born after that were genetically altered.
Yo, I feel like they've been doing that here. I feel like they do that here, y'all, man.
For entertainment purposes, are your staged attacks not going as planned? Are your globalist agendas failing because you're using subpar crisis actors? Well, then look no further. Hi, I'm Harrison Hanks, the ultimate crisis actor. Need a medical doctor? In 18 years as a medical examiner, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. Yeah, it's over the top. 33 children died. Do you need a grieving husband? Did a right-winger set off a bomb? Right, yeah, we're just milling about over there. Had a massive explosion. Then I'm your man. Tired of melodramatic acting?
There's light away from the darkness.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's okay.
I lost my 20-year-old, but I had 20 years with my son.
It's just tragedy. Horror and tragedy.
Listen, y'all, it's hard to say that these people don't be acting. Just look at it. Them emotions did not look real. If you say that them emotions was real, you lying to yourself. Don't comment down below, bro, that was real. They're not actors. How do you know they were actors? Man, there was not no real emotions. It's truly actors out here. There was a video, some people in the school, some kids, they had bust some kids, or it wasn't a kid, it was a grown man acting like a kid in the school. They say, yo, what are you doing here, bro? You like 23 years old. Bust them out.
Or maybe you need me to tone down my good acting to match your sorry lot of wannabes. In that case, I can go from this. My name is Bobby Palmer. My family's one of the families that lost a child. To this. My name is Bobby Palmer. And my family's one of the families that lost a child. Going for the guns takes subtlety. Like this. I don't know how many more need to die before the president does something. Not this.
And please, could we do something with the assault weapons?
And every one of those hands is a reason why those weapons should not be out in the general public.
Because in this kind of a situation, what has changed? Have we learned nothing?
Tired of green screen mishap? Me too. I'm green screen ready, bonded, and insured. I can morph into 1,000 different faces. I offer reasonable rates, and I have no conscience. Just pick your card to play on the world stage. From homeless to police officer, from doctor to witness, to your ace card, the grieving father. You can count on Harrison Hanks to push through your agenda.
That's
Regain
crazy.
their trust. Call Harrison Hanks for all your crisis needs. Thank you. And good luck.
Well, you know, they be calling Harrison Hanks all the time. It's like a dang wrestling match. It's a TV show. They acting like Triple X then came out. Don't this look like a promo to something though, right? Like something for a movie. Look at them. They're putting on a show. Listen, this where all them billions of dollars go. Them billions of dollars we send over there, they finna put on a show for them people. That's all. That's all I can do.
Let's watch this cartoon and let's use our third eye. In TikTok, this is only for entertainment purposes only.
City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away, because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. book your travel,
They're already doing
and
it,
even
y'all.
shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, number 1.
Time to test our system, number 6. The Flex Fighters are out there somewhere, teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work, subtly.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
They can change their whole mind.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters. We should find the Flex Fighters.
Growing up in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer. Chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change. To make it all better. All these years working in secret. Rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in China.
Y'all be asking me where to find these TV shows. It's on Netflix. Y'all can go watch it. Don't you guys think that's like interesting though? Pretty interesting episode if you ask me. Let me know what y'all think about this cartoon and the Smart Mark in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube. Pretty soon we finna start dropping some exclusive content. And TikTok this for entertainment purposes only.
Look, I ain't never ever getting no type of Smart Mark. I'm cool. And this is nasty too. Gotta watch what you're eating. They spray painting the food. Look at that, they just be injecting the food with all type of stuff. Oh no. They dyeing the food a different color or something? That's crazy. I don't want to eat nothing no more. I gotta grow up myself, y'all. You ever get some chicken leg? It just looked a little too big. Like this must have been a jumbo chicken. That's why. Just nasty, y'all. You gotta watch what you eat for real.
There are no such thing as other planets. Space is not real and it's a myth to take you away from God. The so-called planets are actually just fallen angels that were worshipped by Romans and Greeks. Each one of them is a false god. This is why they had us building solar system projects in school. Right, we were giving honor to and subconsciously worshipping false gods.
That's true.
So we know in Genesis 1, God created the stars and he placed them in the firmament, right? These stars, they rotate around in a circular fashion, day and night, serving God, right? Because the stars are the angels. According to Revelation 1:20, stars are the angels. So in Book of Ezekiel, God tells us what the cherubims look like, which is a type of angel. And as for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel. So stars or angels, they look like wheel inside of a wheel. Which is exactly what stars look like when we zoom in on telescopes. Now here's a shot taken of Mars, right? It's the same thing, it's a wheel inside of a wheel. But we know these stars are not following that same circular track that God has set for the rest of the angels. It's because the Bible calls them wandering stars. They're part of the 1/3 that fell from heaven, right, with Satan. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, or the angels of heaven, and did cast them to earth. Right, in Jude 1 verse 13, raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame. Whose shame? Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Right, why are these stars or these angels shameful? Because they disobeyed God. Listen, we are the center of God's creation. There is no other planets. The sun, moon, and stars are all within the firmament. God bless you guys. If you guys are ready to learn the full truth, get the True Earth book now. The download link is in my bio. And once you get the book, it actually comes with access to our private Discord community. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Let's go. True Earth.
Often talk about possible Mandela effects, right? I think we got one. Here behind me, of course, is the 16th president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. And here you can see that he's missing one very notable feature that he typically is associated with. Like when you see Abe, you see this item. Again, the accessory is not here. There's been conspiracy saying that we switched universes in 2012, and this could be another sign that we did. Through all of those pictures that I just scrolled through on Google, none of them were of Abe in the top hat. None. I literally had to search it up, Abraham Lincoln top hat, to get an image. And even then, there was only 2 photos and the rest were cartoons. When I don't know if it was just me, but growing up, Abe in his top hat was iconic. Like, am I tripping? Nah, I'm not tripping. To me, this just looks like the Mandela effects are real and they are currently taking place, like, as we speak. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And of course, for more high quality content, link in the bio for my YouTube. Love y'all.
Man, Mandela effects is popping up all over the place, y'all.
Had been erected for the national estate of Wales. To the ancient ceremonial and the age-long traditions of the bards is added a new note. Princess Elizabeth becomes an honorary bard. In the same valley, a few hundred yards away, are the pits and colliery villages of Wales, but here for a little while, the past and the present meet. Wearing the emerald green robe of the novitiate, the princess's name is added to the roll of bards.
Elizabeth of Windsor.
Now, if ain't nobody else gonna speak about it, I'm gonna speak about it. St. Louis might take in migrants from Chicago and bid to work for us. I ain't even gonna count with you, bro. They ain't even gonna work. All these motherfucking finny heads and crack heads and crazy motherfuckers around here. The non-profit International Institute of St. Louis is partnering with unions and other leaders to resettle hundreds, if not thousands, of Latin migrants in the city. The goal is to boost workforce in St. Louis and stem its population decline. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need more peoples around this motherfucker. There's people around this I know a lot of people looking for jobs right now, bruh. Motherfuckers ain't trying to hire nobody. They capping. Y'all remember I was telling y'all about all these big cities where these people gonna be located at and stored at just to go against us American people? Hey, they a part of the UN, bruh. No cap. Look, y'all gotta start looking around y'all, folks. This shit deeper than what the fuck they keep on telling y'all. See, they keep on telling y'all it's about workforce, right? And then all of a sudden they bounce back around and say, oh, we needed some more people to help us fight the war. But why the fuck would y'all trying to join forces with somebody to help them fight something?
Look, that whole thing is a whole conspiracy in itself, y'all. We'll get into that another time. You feel me? You know, like they got it, and, you know, they got the migrants on military camps, and then now they're saying they're sending them to all the major cities to boost the workforce. And then we got all this other stuff going on, and this war stuff with China and with Israel and with, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot going on to confuse everybody. Not everyone's going to be able to keep up, but you got to take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye view, and then maybe you'll get the big picture. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.